financially independent. Can you repeat that for me?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you believe that women should financially outsource taking care of their kids? And I think that depends
Pick
on
your
What's the
hero.
second part?
Or villain.
and I think that
What's the
depends
second
on
part of the question?
individual.
The second part.
There's women that want to be full-time mothers and stay at home with the kids, and there's women that want to have a career and
Open
also
your
have kids,
eyes.
and there's nothing wrong with
Reality
that.
is
And the
but
fact
an
that we're
illusion.
chastising those kinds of women is why, again, we are in this
How
battle
does
of
a
the sexes.
woman maintain financial independence?
Yes.
Meaning, how does she work
While also
if she
taking
stays
care
at
of
home with her kids?
She
How?
can have a part-time job or
Are
replace
people
it.
really
I have
still chastising women
A lot of
for
people's
being
jobs
working
are
I have-
mothers?
online these
You
days.
guys are saying that most women don't want to work, men wouldn't want to work
When
if they could
science
choose,
failed
but
me,
personally,
magic was
it would
there.
be my dream to be able to have a family
30 seconds
and
before you
have
attack.
the
Get
freedom
ready.
to have my side hustle and have my business. I don't need to work
I
like a
sense a
dog.
strong
I can have it
mystical
all.
Do you see the massive hole with that?
Have it all.
I don't want to work.
Hang on. Hang on.
I never want to have
You really
it.
can if you
There's-
go to an exception, you should have.
Hang on, one at a time, one at a time. Calm down.
One at a time. I think the answer to that is remote work, and I
There's
think
only been like 2 at a time this whole time.
and that is remote work. That is also work that requires being a small amount of time in the office, and you can homeschool. So homeschooling
The occult threats to
is
this
a great
world are
option. I
many,
plan to
and they
homeschool my
grow
kids in the future. That means that you only take 2 to 3 hours a day. Actually, it's not 8 hours like public school, i.e. government indoctrination centers. You take 2 to 3 hours taking care of your kids, educating your kids, and studying moral values.
Do you see the improvements made in your ideology there?
And then you have the rest of the day to also
unseen
do your whatever it is that you, where your kids go, right? Whatever you're passionate about, and you can bring your kids
So
along.
the way that women have financial independence is while they don't outsource the child care, is by having part-time remote work. Now, question. Does she get to keep all that money, or does that go to the contribution of the household?
I think it should, yes. I think it's
Then if that's the case, how is she being financially independent again? Let her answer.
Doctor is
because she
in.
can still have personal accounts that she only has access to, and you also have joint
So
accounts
that
as
she
well.
gets, so she's keeping the money away from the contribution of the household in a personal account that nobody else has access to.
I think that every single adult, male and female, should have a freedom, and that should be part of that as well.
Bionic
and
magic!
personal protection. But I think overall, the reason for the
So
freedom.
you're advising women to hide money from the household.
Hold on, girls.
By the eye of Agamotto!
If this was a traditional structure, it still would not be a traditional structure.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be for everyone.
But how is it hiding if it's something that was previously agreed upon
Well,
before coming into America?
Here's what's funny. When you're talking about advising, you're like, listen, what I want you to do is have your own independent. The way that you can do this and not outsource the child care so much work is hopefully you can be one of the few.
So you don't have to
Hang on. So, well, yes, you are. You have to work in order to get money.
Yeah.
So then, yes. Yes. So let me give the position. Okay. Give the position. Now I'm sure I'm feeling it.
By the eye of Agamotto! Power beyond sight!
With that. Women have children, and you don't want them to outsource the care of the children to other people.
It depends.
Okay, but if they want to not outsource, well, you would agree with me, it's better for the outcomes of children to go.
If I want to go on a date night with my husband, yes, I
That's
would
not outsourcing care.
That is exactly what I'm referring to.
No.
Care.
Hiring a babysitter for 6 hours is far different from sending your kid. No, we don't have a different time. It's so absurd.
You're arguing about faith.
We're gonna argue.
An unseen assist!
Oh, hey, can you come babysit tonight? Oh, you just outsource the care of your children. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about long-term outsourcing the raising of your children to other people. Exactly. So then if I'm... You gotta stop interrupting or we'll never get through the argument. I promise we'll be able to engage. But walking through the argument, woman stays home.
Enemy in front!
Well, who's having the argument? So the woman stays home, and you want her to have her own children, you don't want her to have her children. That means that she has to take some kind of remote job while she's at home. But Instead of contributing all of that to the joint household expenses, we still recommend that she hold some of it in reserve, right? In her own account that her husband can't access?
Yeah, and the man as well. Yes.
How does that not create a massive division in the marriage? Why not just share up everything in the marriage? You're married.
Because women are selfish.
There's a
By the eye of Agamotto!
You have a daughter.
I do have daughters.
You have a daughter.
We'll have to keep fighting until we have a
Tell
winner.
them, honey, I want you to get married with no prenup whatsoever.
I'm opening a portal.
Completely be financially dependent on a man. Is that what you
Well, first of all, the prenup would be better for the man.
A shortcut.
For her
By
having
the eye of Agamotto!
that's what I'm saying. The prenup would actually be better for the man. So for her, I would tell her not
Power
to.
beyond
Because
sight!
if they got a divorce, she's going to actually have an advantage in court. That's the first thing. It is necessarily true. It is true.
It is
But
factually true.
it's factually is true. So here's the other part of this that's funny. And this moves into the ideology, right? Why would I want my daughter to marry a man who she didn't trust enough to manage the household finances, or even if they jointly manage the household finances, for them to have complete access to each other's accounts, social media? They're married. They're one flesh.
Do you
They're
all
one
your
flesh.
trust in one man.
Do you get to make a choice on who she marries, though?
30 seconds
Okay,
before you attack.
so then you trust
Get
You
ready.
asked me what I would advise.
All the time.
Yeah, so you would advise
By one flesh.
What?
One flesh. Two.
Yes, one
you
flesh.
would advise your daughter to
Well, so
When
hang
it
on.
comes to the
So
hunt,
we're talking
we
about worldviews
bloodstones
here.
have always
So
been
I have a different
freelancers.
paradigm than you have. You guys have like a modern liberal paradigm.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
I have, yeah, you do. But I have a
starts in
paradigm,
5,
Orthodox
4,
religious paradigm,
3,
Orthodox Christian religious
2,
paradigm. So I have a different
1.
paradigm than you do.
Really?
All
Yes,
you need to
really.
do is capture the mission area.
Yes.
Got it?
I think we're forgetting the fact that
Women of valor are going to be so
marriage,
sad they
there
miss
is
this.
a possibility that one of the partners could go through mental illness.
They look like they mean business.
Or the narcissist that doesn't control themselves until they've gotten locked down. So I think
At least for me, I see why
Narcissism is rare.
not as much as they narcissism
Hang on, let's find out. Let's find. We'll do an experiment right now. Okay, real quick. Hang on, real quick. Raise your hand if you've dated a narcissist. Go ahead. Okay. Now keep your hands raised. Okay. Now keep your hands raised if they were a diagnosed. Okay.
They don't go to therapy and doctors talk about that kind of shit.
I think
Were they a diagnosed narcissist? You were seen now. Yours a diagnosed narcissist. So one person at the table actually dated a diagnosed narcissist. Was he diagnosed?
from the subject where I'm just going to it's hypocritical to say that you don't believe women and men should have prenups when you know that you wouldn't advise your daughter to get a prenup without a prenup. Period.
No, I literally told you the prenup would be in favor for the man, not for her.
That is not true. So,
It is true. It's definitely true.
so saying that you don't want a prenup is the equivalent of saying that you don't believe that you will have anything that will be worth something that somebody else wants to.
Yeah, that's not saying that at all.
Yes, it is.
No, what it's saying is that
Yes, it is.
you have
What
faith.
if I-
You have
Magic
faith.
is
Okay,
not
so
to be
What if I
owned,
make more than
but
my
to be
husband in the
felt.
future? And I
What
hope
if you
that
do?
And I hope that he makes more than me. It's a,
so you're preparing for failure.
no. I'm preparing for.
You're preparing for failure.
being successful. And that
You're preparing for failure. Then why do you need the prenup?
because I believe in the statistics and statistics, right?
And who are they mostly initiated?
My ex-employer Charlie Kirk answered this question not too long ago when he was on the podcast, or
The
it was
Sorcerer
on one of his
Supreme
Prove Me runs.
returns.
And just because women first initiate divorces doesn't mean that men aren't the first ones to start the process for giving the reason to them. So that is a completely illogical.
They put it to things like
An unseen assist!
domestic violence, cheating, things like this, just really reconcilable differences.
Okay.
Your
Okay.
former employer, by the way, Charlie Kirk, would have completely and totally agreed with me on what marriage
not
was.
verbatim.
Yes, on this
Verbatim,
subject.
this can be looked up.
Okay, so Charlie Kirk is recommending to his daughters to get prenuptial agreement.
I don't know. Because
Did he have one with Erica?
Because he's not here, and I don't know that either.
Yeah, of course not. He didn't. I guarantee you he didn't.
I hope that you are saying things that aren't true.
I'm pretty confident that Charlie Kirk did not have a prenup with him.
I can't speak for anyone.
I mean, I can call Jack Rosovic and ask him right now. I bet you he's going to tell him. I bet he would. That was like his best friend.
Wait, can I ask one question?
Do you think, look at the camera and say that you think that Charlie
Oh, the sword again!
Yeah, exactly.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Kirkwood. So not only that, though, the problem is, but I would say I doubt it. I doubt it. Yeah, but I doubt it. I mean, I don't know for a fact that you're saying
An unseen
so.
assist!
There's like a statistical average here. There's going to be some doubt, but I doubt it.
Can I
Not only that, let's point this out though. You still have massive holes. You still have massive holes in your logic. And the huge hole in your logic is if you're advising women to not outsource their care, try to get some kind of remote job. What I don't understand is why you're trying to pit the husband and wife against each other, though.
I'm not.
Why is it that she doesn't have as much responsibility to the contribution to the household as he does? If he wants to have access to her money, why shouldn't he be allowed to do that?
Let's talk facts and statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Statistically speaking, couples that have prenups last longer and don't get divorces. Why do you think
30
that
seconds
is?
before you
Well,
attack.
I think
Get ready.
I don't even think that's true, actually.
It is, and you can anybody.
But I
watching
would
this
say it's
can look this
likely
up.
true due
No,
to
it is
both of
true.
the
It is
okay, I would say it's probably likely true if it
It
is.
is true.
Hang on, calm down, ladies, so I can answer. I think it would be likely due to wealth. Because wealthy people divorce less, and wealthy people are the more likely to get prenups. Therefore, I would say it's probably the most likely. Wealthy people get prenups. Wealthy people are the least. What you're doing is causation
Battle starts in
correlation.
5.
No.
Because it
4,
correlates that
3,
people with prenups
2,
get divorced
1.
less. And it
All you
also
need to do
correlates
is
that
capture
people
the
who are
mission
wealthy
area.
get
Got
divorced
it?
less. Why should we use your correlate that it's the prenup which prevents them from getting divorced
I
rather
just
than the wealth?
presented a fact, which is that those
And
people.
what does that correlate to, though?
It correlates to, and divorce lawyers speak on this, is the fact that those couples are the ones that have the difficult conversations on money, on lifestyle, on how they put it down
Because they have it.
before they get married.
Because they have it.
Because that's what responsible.
Yeah, because they're wealthy.
Because that's what emotionally intelligent people
Most people do not have the wealth to even believe.
do. You think that non-wealthy people don't get prenups?
Not often, no. Not often. Often, well, often.
Not even on
That's nice. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Are women on average shorter than men? Oh, I'm not shorter than
What
most
would you
men.
consider wealthy?
The mystic arts won't fail
Probably
me
500,000 plus.
Okay, and that is what percentage of
Judge,
the population?
jury,
But we still
executioner!
have a lot more than what, 5% of prenups? Like 5% of people that get
They
married are
usually
prenups?
correlates with the wealthy.
Yes, but no, we have a lot more prenups than we have.
Yeah,
people
but
that
what you need to show us,
according to you.
yeah, what you would need to show us though isn't that there's no poor people who get prenups because that's never the statement. What you need to show us was whether or not it's the case that the correlate here isn't that wealthy people get divorced less because they're wealthy, or it's the case that it's because they have a prenup they're getting divorced less. I would say it's neither way. Because that correlates with higher forms of
Follow me on sight!
It could be well, but it's okay that those are the things that correlate with less divorce.
Right, so but regardless, when you have a prenup,
By the eye of Agamotto!
absolutely, then, hold on, because I was like,
Born again!
regardless, if you do have a prenup, then there's a high probability of staying married. So what did you say? So
That's not, no, that's, you have to demonstrate it's because of the prenup and not because of the other correlates, which would be wealth and education, which are the higher contributing factors for lessening divorce.
So only
What?
wealthy,
Show me how the correlates of a prenup, like, do poor people with prenups get divorced less? Can you show that?
An unseen assist!
No, you're looking at an average of all prenups and saying, okay, on average, this has some correlates
I
to
know
a
that
smaller
wealth
percentage.
isn't the reason because you just said wealthy
Wealth
people
is
is
tied.
$500,000 or more, and I'm telling you that that is what maybe the top 5% of the population, but a lot more than the top 5% 95% of the population gets prenups? Yes or no?
Well, yes, of course.
Yes. Okay. So
That doesn't make sense.
The on-site.
Okay, do you agree with me that on average men are higher than women?
yes.
Okay, but do you also agree that... Answer my question. Do you agree?
You asked Andrew a question, he answered it. He asked you a question, please.
Do you agree with me that there
Keep
are
fighting until we have a
some
winner.
women, though, who are taller than average men?
Yes.
Does
I
that
have
eliminate the
unfinished
fact that
business
on
here.
average, men are taller?
I'm
Of course
opening a
not,
portal.
right? Okay, so when we're talking about a correlate here, we're going to use the same standard. Do you agree with me that people who have high educations or higher education get divorced less?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, do you also agree that there's a correlate between people who have higher education and wealth?
Yes.
Okay, so now we are agreeing that wealthy people and highly educated people get divorced less. Those are also the people most likely to get prenups. Just because other people also get prenups who aren't them doesn't mean that the contributing factor here to the lesser divorce has anything to do with the prenup. Do you understand that now?
I understand.